drinking some more coffee.
Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Jim County Commissioners Court for today, June 9, 2025, 9 a.m. is now in session. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing okay this morning. We'll go to agenda item number 3, public testimony. Is there anybody in the public who would like to address the court at this time? Hearing none. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, you want to put on the screen, okay. You can't hardly see it anyway. Okay, the name of this company is Enbridge. It's an Orange Grove solar project. I was there 14 months ago when they broke ground in, north of Alfred on a 920-acre farmland. 14 months later, they had a ribbon cutting ceremony. They had a bus tour and they're in operation, contracted with AT&T to sell their energy. Enbridge invested $250 million on this project. It will create property tax, sales tax, use tax, and other tax such as fuel tax, payroll tax, excess tax. To what extent, we don't really know, but it's a great thing for Jim Wells County.
Commissioner, thank you.
So, and by the way, we got y'all some candy.
Nice.
You got it?
Judge, I want to speak about something here that is probably gonna, it by no way am I trying to point the finger at anybody. This information is gonna put out there, and I think it needs to be brought over to the Commissioner's Court and be discussed in one way or another. We cannot keep ignoring it. We're throwing a lot of money out there. It's about the inmates that we're paying up to $70,000 a month. Right now, in 2022, we spent $48,000 in 1 year. In 23, spent $30,000. No, $306,000, and this year, 400. Last year, $454,000, and this year we're going at $70,000. We're predicted to hit about $850,000 in 1 year. Expensive. I feel that we should bring it up, discuss it, see what we can come up with. By no means am I trying to point fingers at any single person. It just cannot be ignored any longer. This is tax dollars that are going out to other communities, whether it be Heavenville, Maverick, or what's the other one? Zapata County. And it's a lot of money, guys. So what's the answer? I don't know. But it needs to be discussed and it needs to be addressed at one point. So just for food for thought there. So I want to discuss.
I agree 100%. Anybody else like to address the court at this time? Hearing none, I'll move to agenda item number 4, discuss, consider, and take action to approve minutes from previous meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and I have a second to approve the meetings from previous meeting. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 5, consent agenda. Consent agenda items will be voted upon in one vote and will not be discussed separately unless requested by the county judge, commissioner, or a citizen.
Judge, Commissioners, I have reviewed the budget adjustment line items, and they are allowable adjustments with y'all's approval.
Motion to approve item number 5 is presented.
I have a motion, I have a second to approve agenda item number 5 as presented. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 6, presentation by Gabriel Perales, Public Information Officer, Office of Disaster Recovery and Resilience, U.S. Small Business Administration, SBA, on critical finance assistance and services for residents from the counties of Jim Wells, Duval, Brooks, Clayburgh, Live Oak, Nueces, and San Patricio that were impacted by the severe storms. We're finally here. It's been a long process. After the May 8th storms, we have been working very diligently with the city of Alice, with Cheatham, with our governor's office, and with SBA to be able to finally get to where we're at, and we get some services and some aid for our residents that they're in much need of. So, Mr. Perales, can you hear me?
I can, Judge. Good morning.
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 I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to you, so you can enlighten us on some services and some financial assistance you're providing.
Sure. Thank you very much, Judge. Good morning, commissioners, and thank you all for allowing us this opportunity to really come on here and share some of the information that, number one, we've been providing at the DLOC location there at 601 East Main Street. And this provides us an opportunity to share the same information with those that maybe have not had the opportunity to walk into that facility. But overall, as you mentioned, Judge, SBA has finally made its way to Jim Wells County in hopes of assisting those that were impacted on May 8th. So with that being said, let me just share for everyone that during a time of disaster, SBA not only helps businesses, but we help homeowners, renters, nonprofits, and of course, businesses of all sizes. So with that being said, if anybody was impacted by those storms on May 8th, they can potentially qualify for our disaster loan products. Excuse me, I apologize. And so what that means for homeowners and renters is that they can qualify for up to $100,000 of personal property loss. That includes furniture, clothing, even including vehicles on personal loss property. For homeowners alone, they can qualify for up to an additional $500,000, and that would be for physical damages to either repair or replace their property. The great part about both of these disaster loan products is that they carry a very low interest rate of only 2.81%, and it's over the course of a 30-year term, with the first year being deferred payment and deferred interest. So no payments, no interest for the first year. Again, these are disaster loan products. These aren't grants. This is not free money. This is a small interest loan backed by the U.S. federal government. So it is an excellent opportunity for homeowners and renters who may have been impacted to get out here to 601 East Main, submit an application, and see if they do qualify for some of the funding that can help them get their property back on track, or again, help them move to the next rental if they need help with rental assistance. In terms of our business community, so for our businesses and nonprofits, if they suffered physical damage, they can qualify for up to $2 million. And that interest rate is as low as 4% again, carried out over the course of up to 30 years with no payments, no interest for the first year as well. And so it really does provide an opportunity for anybody who may have suffered physical damage, whether you're a business, homeowner, renter, to hopefully get themselves back on their feet and back to the way they were prior to May the 8th. Now, lastly, we also offer our EIDLE program, which is Economic Injury Disaster Loans. And that's for any business that may have suffered or may be suffering economic injury, meaning that their business is still in place, the physical building is still there, but as a result of the actual damages by the storm, they've lost some business and suffered economically. So we also offer those that have suffered business interruption, if you would, up to $2 million as well. And again, carries the same interest rate as low as 4% over the course of the 30 up to 30 years. And again, no payments, no interest for a year. And so just to be clear on one final point, Judge, I know we spoke about it last Friday when we met up there at the location, at the disaster location, is that all the outlying areas do actually qualify for physical damage. So the contiguous counties that you pointed out are not only eligible for EIDL, but they're also eligible for physical damage as well, which is great news. So I just wanted to clarify that as well. I know I had mentioned briefly that maybe EIDL was going to be the only thing they qualify for, but in fact, it is going to be for physical damage also. So really, we're here, we're boots on the ground. We're going to be here till June the 26th, physically accepting applications or helping those that would like to come into the building and get assistance with our representatives filling out the application. Or individuals can also fill out an application online at sba.gov/disaster. Again, sba.gov/disaster. Or they can also apply over the telephone at 1-800-659-2955. Again, 1-800-659-2955. For those that don't have the means or just cannot make it out here by the 26th, they can also go ahead and apply online or in person. So just want to let you all know that we will be here. We will have our folks again until the 26th of June. So please, if you feel that you have had some damage, you know, the reality is so many people self-disqualify themselves for whatever reason or talk themselves out of applying. And so we really want to encourage you, if there's an inkling of, hey, I had some damages, come on out and apply. You know, you really lose nothing by applying. You don't have to take advantage of the funds. Even if you come and apply and you get approved, doesn't mean you have to use them. It means that they're there if you want to use them, but you don't have to use them. And that's much better than missing the deadline and not having that opportunity at all. So we will continue to encourage people from here until the 26th to come out. And once again, I want to thank you all for the opportunity to speak on this very important topic to bring some much needed disaster assistance to Jim Weld County residents and contiguous counties as well. So thank you.
Let me ask you, Mr. Perales, what are the minimum requirements for anybody that's sustained damage to qualify? Is there like a certain criteria that the residents must have to qualify?
Sure. Great question, Judge. So we have two criteria. The first one is that you must have credit that is acceptable to SBA, is number one. And number two, you must show the ability to pay back or repay the actual loan. Again, keep in mind, SBA understands that we are in a disaster area, so we're not looking for a pristine 800 credit score. But what we are saying is eligible, or what is considered okay to SBA. And what we do, or what our underwriters do, is they take a look at everything holistically. And so there's no magic number. There's no 600, 700, 800. It really is, when you submit your application, they'll take a look at everything together. And then at that point in time, be able to make the determination on whether or not you would qualify for one of these loans.
Well, thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Perales, on the, how about farmers and ranchers? I had a couple of questions on trees falling down on fences, and then a couple of sheds been blown down.
So again, Judge, one of the things that I will continue to say, unfortunately, I'm not the one that makes the determination, yes or no, but I would certainly encourage them to get into to the bank building and submit an application. Again, if it's part of their property, there should be no reason why they wouldn't qualify. Again, I can't say yes or no myself, but let's get them in there, get them to fill out their application, submit their application. And again, I would fully suspect that if it's on their property, there should be an opportunity for them to qualify for that as damages to their property.
Okay, and my last question is, the counties, the surrounding counties around us, they qualify basically for everything that residents from Jim Wells County do, correct?
Absolutely correct, Judge. They will be eligible for both physical damage and economic injury damages as well for the business community.
All righty. Does anybody have any other questions or anything for Mr. Perales? Hearing no other questions, Mr. Perales, thank you so much for your assistance. We really appreciate you guys. And we are at 601 East Main downtown. And we're on the first floor. We have 4 cubicles out there. They have 3 representatives. So please, they're ready and willing to assist anybody who needs help. So we invite everybody to do so. Mr. Perales, thank you so much for your presentation. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 7, discuss, consider, and take actions on Jim Wells County ESD1 to grant a 30-day extension for submittal of their FY 2024 compilation report. I guess they're just asking for a 30-day
Motion to approve it.
extension. I have a motion, I have a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 8, discuss, consider, and take action to approve the permit applications of Blackcomb Pipeline LLC for pipeline crossing under County Roads 145, 170, 173, 211, 247, and 331. Come on up. Please state your name for the court.
Leslie Carey with Northfleet Land Services, representing Blackcomb Pipeline.
You just want to give us a brief rundown of,
We're going to be installing a 42-inch natural gas uncased steel pipe from Martin County all the way to Agua Dulce to a compressor station there. Like you said, we'll be going under a few county roads in Jim Wells County. A few we've requested to open cut, and the asphalt roads will bore. We'll be carrying natural gas. I think I already said that. Apologies. We're looking to start construction about in August, September. And for Jim Wells County, our contractor that's been awarded is MPG, who we worked with on previous projects. And once we get the contact information for that company, I'll send it over to y'all. So if y'all need to reach out to them for any issues or anything, y'all can contact them, and also reach out to me for any issues or comments or concerns once construction starts. And when I'll give y'all a better timeline whenever we start construction, once we nail that down a little bit.
I have a question.
Sir?
So when you run the pipeline, you repack the road, do you come back maybe a year later, a month later for any settlement on the crossing?
While we're still in, construction will be about a year, so if there's any settlement issues or anything, y'all can give us a call. We'll get back out there and assess it and see what we can do.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
They're going to be bored. These particular ones are going to be bored.
The Caliche, the dirt roads will be open cut.
Okay,
Yes,
they're
sir.
open cut, okay.
Yes, sir.
Judge, Commissioners, I spoke with Ms. Carey last week, and so you'll see that on agenda item number 8, all 6 roads are listed. They're requesting permits for all 6. The following agenda item specifies which roads will be open cut as opposed to boring. So the ones that are not open cut will be boring, the 6 listed in number 8.
Right, every road's individually permitted, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay, and,
so we have 6 permits,
okay. And each, the money goes to each
but
individual,
3 of them will be open cut.
Yeah.
just caliche. Okay.
Okay, any further questions? If not, I
Motion to
entertain a
approve
motion.
item is presented, Judge.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second, any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 9, discuss, consider, and take action to approve addendum to permit applications of Blackcomb Pipeline LLC to allow for open cut method instead of boring for pipeline crossings under County Roads 145, 173, and 331. I entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Agenda item number 10, discuss, consider, and take action on approval of fund requests for Alice Boys and Girls Club and West Alice Youth Center and Alice Boxing Club to be taken from Fund 50 at the amount approved by Commissioners Court. So, So that is the question, because we have the 3 applications that we usually get each year. And we have 25,000 in there, correct?
Yes.
And ever since December 27, 2016, there's a kind of rules, kind of criteria that we follow. And one of those rules is the Drug Abuse Rehab Fund shall maintain a balance of 25,000 after June allocations. So at this point, last year, we had almost $6,000 to give away, right? And we gave away or awarded 1,780 something each.
Right.
And that put us to 25. Now, since then, we have not added any money or had any revenues to that line item. And to the best of my knowledge and best of anybody else's knowledge, we don't have any idea why, other than just to keep the $25,000 balance in there, as far as the reasoning for it.
Judge, where does the money come from?
Comes from forfeiture funds, drug forfeiture funds. And we hadn't had any this year. So if we want to award any money this time, we're gonna have to go under the 25,000. 25,000.
Well, I'll make a motion that we reduce the cap of 25 to maybe 10 and award everybody 5,000. That, we need to keep some money in there.
Yeah. Is that a motion, Mr. Garcia? Is that a motion?
Yeah,
I'll second it.
but we'll change the policy to read 10,000.
I'll second.
I have a motion, I have a second to award, because that's what we're doing today. So we're awarding 5,000 each to each one of the applicants. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and I'll be a yay on that one too. Agenda item number 11, discuss, consider, and take action for Commissioner Precinct 3, Renee Kirchhoff, to enter into a lease agreement with Candace Finance for a 2026 Mack Granite dump truck, lease number 10760, schedule number 70830-021.
These are another dump truck lease that we do every 13 months. It's a really big,
It's the same one we're all in, right?
yeah,
The
we're
lease.
all in it.
Motion to approve, Judge.
That's the one that they
Second one?
take the used one and replace it.
Only have one.
Yeah. Every year they
That's the first one?
renew the lease, bring a new
Wish we had
truck and
more.
take the old one back. I second motion.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Was it 20,000? It's under 20,000, right?
No, I thought it was like 18. Used to be.
A year
Like 24 hours.
already. It went up. I started at 16.
Agenda item number 12, discuss, consider, and approve a resolution regarding a contract for the purpose of financing a motor grader and/or shredder for Commissioner Precinct 1, George Aguilar.
Yes, sir, Commissioners, Judge, I contacted Government Capital for financing a motor grader that we really need. Ours is pretty much outdated and, it's worn out. And we can't provide the services we need to Precinct 1, so I'm asking for approval of this so we can finance a new grader and a shredder. Payable like maybe 4 or 5 years.
It's just the approval to,
Motion to approve.
so they'll bring the
Okay,
financing.
has it gone through your office?
Yes, I
Everything's okay?
discussed it with him, and we have talked about a possible interest that's reasonable, and he has no other loan payments at this time, so
Okay.
they've all been cleared up, and so this would be his first one.
So the choices weren't given yet to him yet?
No, they haven't given you any of the
How many they give you
paperwork?
the choices, how many years you want to finance and the interest
I
rate?
don't
Well, they asked me, and based on the amount of the grader that we purchased, is going to be 48 months or 60 months, but normally I would go 48 months.
I think that part does have to be approved right now.
Yeah,
We have to
Once we
bring,
get
the contract's gonna have to come back.
Yeah, we'll have to bring back, once they do.
yeah, okay.
Well, I had a motion.
I have a motion,
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 13, discuss, consider, and take action for Commissioner Weicher Gonzalez, Precinct 4, to purchase a 2014 Freightliner grapple truck.
Judge, we're trying to catch up with all the brush out there in the whole area. And we just cannot seem to catch up with it. So we're in the process of trying to purchase this grapple. It's without a box, so I went out there and I tried looking for another one. I could not. I found some other ones that have a box behind it, like the one we have. And this one is at 22,000. Everything else is way higher. So we see the different options, and this is the cheapest one I can find.
Oh, that's gonna be the same thing, the contract would have to come back, right? Or no?
He's not financing it.
You're not finding, oh, you're purchasing? Okay. I'll make a motion, we approve.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 14, discuss, consider, and take action to enter into a contractual agreement with Muni Billing, Utility Billing Solutions to provide software for solid waste collection billing services provided by Precinct 1.
Yes, sir. Commissioners, Judge, we've contacted several software companies to provide an easier environment or more user-friendly software for our trash collection services. At the moment, we're having to do double the work, and this company provides a software which very user-friendly. You can pay on your phone, on the app, computer. It's just more efficient. So that's why so we went out there looking for vendors and we could not find any, and this is the only one that can meet our needs.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. We don't have none of the numbers to it yet. Should.
It was under 50, which is why we asked Commissioner Aguilar, together with the auditor's office, we worked with him to get 2 other quotes. So we do have 3 quotes, and this was the best offer that we could find.
Yes, sir.
In the 40,000 range, more than getting.
For the contract, yes, for the 48-month contract.
Okay. I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 15, discuss, consider, and take action on approving a resolution authorizing the submission of an application to the Texas Department of Transportation Alternative Set Aside Program to support Bembo's connectivity, accessibility sidewalk project, and authorize Commissioner Gonzalez to execute all documents pertaining thereto.
I'm sorry, Judge, I thought I was in the wrong one. Apologize.
No problem.
Yeah, it's the second phase for the sidewalks there in Bembo, Judge. It's just same thing as the other one. The first phase.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. On those documents, the county judge, I have to sign on those?
Haley will get with us on that one. She's not in there.
Okay, just amend your motion to put you and me, just in case. I
Well,
have
you're
to
the one
sign.
that signs, yeah.
Yeah,
And also, we're having a meeting, June the 26th at the high school, so to address this issue.
okay. So I have a motion, I have a second, just adding me as the authorizing signature for executing all documents. So I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 16, discuss, consider, and take action to authorize Jim Wells County Emergency Service District Number 2 to utilize Jim Wells County Auditor's Office to perform audits for the district.
Mr. Garcia, welcome back.
Probably know me, my name is Iñigo Garcia. I'm the president for Jim Wells County ESD number 2. One of the things that's necessary for ESD is that they have to have a audit performed every year, usually by a CPA. But there is a certain amount that they can receive per year in revenue that they have a different way of going about it. So when we went out for bids on CPA services, most asked us for anywhere between $8,000 to $15,000 to perform an audit. We're very small. We don't, obviously, that was close to 10% of our estimated revenues per year on an audit alone. So when I attended the safety conference in January, a slide popped up and it pricked my ears a little bit because it said that a county auditor for a ESD that serviced less than $250,000 a year could be performed by county auditors. So I took a picture of it and I sent it to Cindy, called her right away. And I said, hey, is this something that's possible? Because, I mean, we just were established last year. This is the first year that we've collected. And I felt wrong if, we haven't really done anything yet to really warrant an $8,000 to $10,000 audit. When I spoke to ESD number 1, they said that they do a compilation report. When I asked about a compilation report, that was still $5,000 to $8,000 also. So it didn't feel like it was something that really would fit what we could want or wanted to spend. Like we were really looking to actually use these funds on equipment, things like that for the Bimble Fire Department or Volunteer Fire Department. I'm sorry. So I talked to Cindy about it. She said that she was willing to bring it to Commissioner's Court. So here we are. We're really just seeing whether or not it'd be possible to allow her to look at our books and
And just so you
reconcile.
know, so we do have an agreement that was proposed. Michael has reviewed it. We've discussed it. I've discussed it a little bit with the
So what's your source of revenue?
So we really just get it from ad valorem every year. It's basically the same way that you receive your ad valorem in biweekly checks. So what it is we receive 10 cents. Yeah, 10 cents per.
Max.
Yeah, the max right now. And now that can be adjusted as we move on, but right now that's how we really receive our revenues. And that's pretty much it. The Bimble Volunteer Fire Department, they do like fundraisers and things like that, but that's kind of what they have on their side. That's not really something that we count as revenue because that's for them alone. Ours is the main reason that they created the ESD or we created the ESD was to allow us to help them with equipment. It also showed them as like a revenue stream for grants that they were looking to do that needed matches, stuff like that. So that's why we created it in the first place.
You're okay with it, Cindy?
I am.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. Mr. Garcia, thank you very much sir, for serving, and it's a great deal that you guys are doing. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
so I just have one,
and also I think y'all need to clarify the amount.
the amount.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that was gonna be my question. The amount, and the amount goes to the auditor personally or through?
We're charging you?
No, I was gonna do it at no cost, but y'all would have to approve that.
Okay, and no cost, yeah?
I mean, I wouldn't get it personally anyway.
No.
If y'all were to charge, it would go to the county. That would make that clear.
And Judge, you help them out throughout the year anyway, so why not help them out with this? So, Mr. Garcia, you wanna put on there as no cost?
At no cost,
Motion
till future notice.
Thank you, sir.
We're still pretty small, so there's not a lot of transactions now, but I'm sure as time goes.
We don't want to put you in the collective.
Thank you.
So I have a motion and a second to approve contract at no cost. Any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And it has your signature here. So-
Yeah.
Agenda item number 17. Discuss, consider, and take action to reappoint new evaluation committee members to the Jim Wells County Procurement Procedures process. When we approved the process, we stated that we were going to revolve and appoint new members every year. So we're a little bit past that point. So it's time to renew and to reappoint evaluation committee members for the procurement process. Does anybody have any recommendations?
We're doing four, not just
We're doing 4, and then JC Perez, he's online right now.
We never had a limit on. We never had a limit on.
No, we don't have a limit on it. JC usually kind of runs the meetings and kind of points them in the right direction. We'd probably like for that to continue to happen. We'll appoint 4 members.
I just feel that every commissioner ought to appoint one. If that's what everybody agrees with, but that's what I would like to do.
Okay, I don't have a problem with that. Do you recommend somebody?
Me? Yeah, I'd like to appoint David Ruiz.
We have David Reese. Anybody else have a recommendation?
Yes, Andy Chavarria.
And just like, just trying to make sure that whoever's gonna be put on there, they're gonna be able to come and show up when the contracts are, come up for evaluation.
What was the first name?
Andy?
Andy?
Okay, the Nora Avila,
Nora?
yeah, my secretary.
Avila.
JC in it still?
Yes, we want him to guide them through the process.
If you got any questions or references, they can refer to him.
Now, if we have 4 and use
He
JC
won't be
as
a voting,
guidance,
he won't be a voting,
so if he's not a voting member, we probably need to have 3.
if I remember correctly, we couldn't have an elected official in there.
Right.
So, but he would be put in there as a guide, as a reference, they need something from him or whatever, they can refer to him.
So that leaves 1 open, Commissioner. You have a recommendation?
Can be anybody.
Anybody. Could be a committee member.
Anybody you want?
We can check with Carlos Garcia, see if David Espinosa can be available for this, if you don't mind.
David Espinosa?
David Espinosa. Okay, we have 4 recommendations. David Reese,
You gonna get one or not?
no, because there's only
You weren't
4.
gonna appoint anybody? But we didn't have a minimum.
There actually is a provision that for some grants, it's the opposite. You must have at least 1 elected official, and that applies to TDA grants, Department of Agriculture, or HUD-funded programs.
Okay, so how about
But then you include JC.
on those, we just include JC?
We just keep JC.
Why don't you, and then the other issue I was thinking is, if you, like, if you get to appoint one judge and it be JC, that would create five, and it would avoid deadlocks of 2-2, a 2-2 vote. So it might not be a bad idea, and then we need one, did you already pick one, Commissioner Richard?
We got David Espinosa.
Okay, so that would be the five.
Okay.
Sometimes JC, as an elected official, would have to recuse himself if there's a conflict, because the purchase or the anticipated purchase relates to something for his particular office.
I think, okay, I don't have a problem with that. We need to look at our process to make sure, because he made a good point that some of the grants, you need an elected official. So we may have to add a stipulation on the procurement process. Okay, so I have David Reese, Andy Chavarria, Nora Avila, David Espinosa, and J.C. Perez.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion, I have a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. There's also a couple other things. I may get that. We already have a committee for the, I think you're in it, for the procurement process.
Oh, yeah.
So we may just get that same committee together and reevaluate. I think we've had it for over a year and a half. And we've been able to use it, and now we have a time frame to evaluate. Agenda item number 18, discussion on options to address road construction throughout Jamosa County.
Weren't we gonna have a workshop after Commissioners Court?
Well, I spoke with Mr. Guerra, and we just thought it'd be a discussion. Workshop, we still won't have any action items on the workshop, so
We weren't looking for action items, we were just looking to discuss and try to figure out a way to,
that's fine. We can,
we were on a workshop type of deal, not on the agenda.
well, either way, we'd have to post it, and we have to, it'll be a meeting, it'll be like a regular meeting on a workshop. That's why I went ahead and put it as a discussion, because
The question was whether a workshop has to be videoed, and the answer was
yes.
yes. It's just like anything else. The only thing is, it's more informal and no action can be taken. So when the judge asked me, I said, well, you can include it as an item for
Presentation, yeah.
if you want, there's nothing that prevents you from doing it, but it's gonna be the same as what we're doing right now.
Yeah, we can go ahead and, I don't mind discussing it right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can you
yeah.
give me,
It's a
give me
good
that file, and those,
thing. I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, either way, a workshop or a discussion's the same.
here I have some photos of current road conditions, Seahawk and Madura. So you can see, and this is only my precinct. So you can see how some of these roads, what condition they are in. And they need to be addressed either today or, I would rather address them today and take action on the condition of these roads today. I think we've waited long enough to do something about it. Also, I have these reports. This is only a small fraction of the roads also, which will grade the road from 1 to 5. And the approximate cost of each rehabbing of the road. So that gives you an idea how much we need. And I know it's probably impossible to do it, to get that much money every year, but we do need to allot something and come to a consensus that it needs to be addressed. The responsibility of each citizen of James Wells County is to pay taxes. They're doing their part, and what are we doing? Our responsibility is to improve these roads, not to have these people driving these roads every day in those conditions. It's pretty dry right now, they're not bad, but if it rains, they get worse. So we've been lucky, we haven't had much rain, and kind of unlucky because we don't have the funds to repair them when it's dry. But, you know, budgeted amounts are meant to be used. In any entity, form of government, departments are given budgets which are meant to be used. If you don't use that budgeted money, guess what happens next year? You'll cut your budget because you didn't use your required amounts. So it kind of how the system works generally. Of course, you can't go over the expenditure, the budgeted amount. That's common sense. But according to the report that I kind of put together, each year, I would highly recommend that each precinct get, we can share about $1 million between precincts that need it. And if you have excess amounts in your budget, use them before you acquire any funds from the general fund or what it's been budgeted for that year for that particular precinct. I would highly encourage for us to take action today and not wait any longer, because the citizens of Alice, Precinct 1 is one of the baddest, not the worst condition roads in probably Jim Wells County. And it's been far too long that nobody has really stepped up. And I'm here to do that. So let's come to a consensus and take action today.
On Precinct 3, I got every bit of this and more.
I'm sure you do.
And, I mean, it doesn't, you can work and work and work and work and work, and there's just not gonna be enough money to there's not gonna be enough money to take care of it, for, you know, any commissioner. And, I mean, so what are you saying we should do?
Well, if each precinct gets a budgeted amount every year, you're able to fix a certain amount each year, you know.
Where are you trying to get that money from?
Well, from wherever you have it, general fund.
Well, let's start by saying, you know, we all have a percentage of the road and bridge budget. I have 16%, so I have to be very careful how I use my money. I accumulate reserves for a reason, because I cannot go borrow like you're gonna borrow. And every year, pay a finance company $50,000, $60,000. I can't do that because my budget doesn't allow it. So for you to say that some of us have more money than others, we all have almost the same starting balances.
I agree with that.
So to say that you're gonna borrow from, and I don't even know if it's even, you know, each precinct has the same amount of residents. We all get the same amount of taxes probably. So it's gonna be real hard for you to make a case that you're gonna take monies from precinct 2 to put it in precinct 1.
We're not saying that.
It's
We're
pretty-
just
pretty-
saying.
Pretty much, I can
we're
read
say-
it in between the lines.
No, what we're saying is, each precinct needs to be budgeted more money when budget talks come around. You know, this little $80,000 a year for road construction is not gonna cut it. You buy an oil truck, it's $6,000, you know? You need to fix these roads on a yearly basis. You know, everybody does. Each commissioner needs to take action, say, you know what, this is how much we need this year, and let's do something. Let's fix these roads. The fact of the matter is that, we don't have the money, It's been said for many years. So it's like trying to say, I'm gonna save money, you never save it. We just procrastinate. So I don't know if the other commissioners agree, but we do need to get budgeted more money every year for road improvements. That's the bottom line.
And
Well, I mean, that's, but where's it gonna come from?
when the economy was
From the tax
good,
base.
when the economy was good, we were appropriating monies for that.
Well,
You know, the county went south, and I know that you might not agree, you know, that we have to look at the past to go forward. And to me, you know, last year, we had to borrow from the general fund to balance our budget. So it's to say that we're gonna borrow $3-4 million from general fund to put in road and bridge, you know, that has to be done in budget hearings. I'll guarantee you that the auditor needs to be involved. We all need to be involved. But to say that you have bad roads, you just started. You know, you're not gonna fix these roads overnight.
I'm not saying that. It
But,
needs
you
to
know,
be a
what I'm
year.
saying is that, you know, you started, your starting budget was a lot larger than your previous commissioner. You know, she left you $600,000 starting budget. Mine is a little over $1 million, hers, which was the same thing. But to say that, you know, you have almost $2 million to spend this year. If you can't get it done with $2 million, I don't know where, you know, whether you're gonna be getting it done with another 500,000 or 200,000, you know. That's
We're not
my-
asking for $4 million a year. We're asking between
Well,
precincts,
no,
$1 million
what
per year,
I'm
is $4
saying-
million over
what
4
I'm telling you,
years.
George, Commissioner, that you can spend $2 million this year. You just started your term, 5 months into it. You still have like almost $2 million to spend this year. And you're asking for more money.
I don't have that $82 million. I have $80,000 on my line item for road
Yeah, but your
improvements.
total budget's like,
That's got nothing to do with it.
of course it is. You know, you have to budget it, and you can
I'm
move
not
money from
complaining
one.
about what I have now. I'm
one-
complaining that we
one-
need more.
Huh?
We need more. It's just the bottom line.
Okay, but if you can figure out where we could get it in budget hearings, you know, I'm all for it, you know. But it's not like you say that if you don't use it, you lose it. That's not gonna happen. I mean, I don't think you wanna not use it and lose it. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't want any department in Jim Wells County to think that way, because what we do on a yearly basis is we try to stay within our budget, and if you don't need it, don't use it. Not don't use it, or use it because you're gonna lose it. I mean, that's how you can create a fund balance. And right now, Commissioner Gonzalez, you know, he brought up the point on our jail situation. We have to pay really close attention to that. We've tried to, myself, our county attorney, our judges, our sheriff, we're trying to address it. But when you're trying to clean up the town, clean up the county, you're gonna have arrest. But that's one thing that we have to keep a close eye on. Now, I want you to fix your roads. If I could write a check, I'd write it right now. But the fact of the matter is, we have something that's depleting our general fund right now. And we have to figure out how we're going to address that while we're still cleaning up the county and the cities in the county, to be able to extrapolate money from the general fund for this. And like I said, if the money was there, I would do it in a heartbeat. We just can't, yes, the taxpayers, I'm a taxpayer too, you know, we pay our taxes and we want the best thing that we could have as far as roads and everything else. But how can I put them in a spot where we could go broke? And that could happen. You know, we had a weather event, a disaster event. Man, as bad as it was, God was with us, and we didn't have to throw a lot of money to that. But we're going into hurricane season, and we have to take care of that money because something could happen, and then we put our citizens in a worse situation, and we can't. And I'm not saying no, I'm not saying anything like that. What I'm trying to say is, let's figure it out, because we don't even know our no new revenue tax rate right now. We don't know what our Jimos County departments absolutely need, because that's what we're going to look at during budget, what we absolutely need, and in order to approve some things. And like I said, if we have all these numbers together and they allow for it, hell, we can do something. We can try to put something together, but I can't promise that those numbers are going to show that. Oh, anybody else want to speak on it?
I came in here 70 years ago, Judge, and the first thing I told you guys was these people that were here, whatever they were doing in the past wasn't working. It hasn't worked for 30 years. Throw it out the window. We got to think outside the box. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to step out there. I mentioned that stuff in the morning. I don't want to get feedback from it, and I'm not trying to pinpoint anybody. It's nobody's single person's fault. That deal is everybody should come together and try to come up with an answer for it. Same thing here. Nobody's trying to bite from anybody's budget or anything. If you feel offended for it, sorry. But the thing is this, our number one priority is to fix the roads, do the budget, and set the policy. So what are we doing? We're not fixing roads. What I gather here, we don't have an answer for it. We don't have any money. That's all we ever hear is we don't have any money. But we have money for everything else.
I don't agree with you there, but go ahead.
Well, I let you guys speak, let me speak. You know, we have money for every single other thing. We've invested 3 million here, 3 million here. What are we investing money for? I didn't even know we're investing companies. What are we investing for? To get money to fix other things, but never fix the roads. When are we going to fix the roads? We hear it from the people every single day. Every single day we hear from the people. We're fixing roads. We fixed 29.2 miles last year. I was over my budget. And you know what? I don't care. That's what I'm here for. So either give me more money, or I'll go tell people, you know what? We don't have any more money, because they want to put the money in investments. They want to put the money over here. They want to put the money here, but not give it to the roads. We're not gonna attract any companies in here, guys, if we do not fix these roads. I'm tired of it. People are tired of it. Enough is enough, you know? And if I was over my budget and you're not using your budget, well, you know what? Maybe we should think of another system. Why don't we do a road construction assessment? Let's go see the roads. Let's everybody get in there and let's go drive the road, see who's got the worst roads. You know what? Worst thing about it is I'll probably end up getting hurt myself because I fixed the most roads, the most mileage, and I'll probably hurt myself. But when you go to precinct 1, it's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. You go to your place, it's bad. So what are we doing? What are we doing? We're asking people pay taxes, we'll raise your taxes, but we're not gonna fix the roads, guys. We're gonna use it for some other stuff. We're gonna invest your money. What do we wanna invest for? What do we wanna invest for? If we're gonna invest our money, invest it on the damn roads for once and for all. That's enough. If you're not using your money, put it somewhere where somebody's gonna use it, okay? Because if you're way under your budget and you left $450,000 on the table, and you don't need that money. And if you don't want to tell me you don't lose it, you use it, you don't lose it, I'm sorry. If you left $450,000 on the table last year, that's an embarrassment. If you only use $400,000 a month in diesel and I'm using $1,800, that's a huge difference. Something is happening there. There's something more done here. And you know what? I'm tired of it. I'm fed up. So are the people in the county, and we need to do something different. And we don't sit down and talk about it and come to a conclusion of how we're gonna do this, guys, then we're just the same people that were here in the past. And I don't wanna be that. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but we have got to come as grown adults, sit down and discuss how we can do it. I proposed different ideas in the past, they shot me down. I got other ideas now, and yes, it is. They tell me you gotta convince the other 3 people, the other 4 people, yes. It doesn't take a genius to figure it out, guys. That the roads are bad, we need to figure out something. We can rotate money, we can push the money aside, we can put certain amount of there, request how much roads you're gonna fix, put your allocation for the year. If you use it there, if not, you leave it there, we'll come back again the next year. We suggest to you how many miles we're gonna fix. You know what? Let's take the money from, we have how much money? $700,000 on, what's a line item called, Cindy?
Are you talking the fund or what, the route relief fund?
Yeah, let's go.
Route relief?
Route relief funds, it's sitting there. But yet here we are struggling to fix a road. You know, we save, but we won't fix anything. Why won't we fix anything?
We were saving,
You know, but what are we saving for? Then we come back and we use it for something else other than the roads. So why don't we pull 3 million out of those 6 million and say, you know, 1 million, and say, you know what, we're gonna use it next year for this. You know, and maybe I'm a little different from Mr. Aguilar. I mean, I'm not asking for it right now. I'm asking, we have to create a different idea. We have to, guys. It is not working and it's not gonna work. We just can't sit here idle like, we can't do nothing about it. Oh, well, but I got a job, got a hell of a retirement, I got everything, well, let's go. That's not what it's for. I'm not here for the retirement, I'm not here for the money, I'm here to fix the roads, and let's fix them. That's it. Let's sit her down and discuss it and come up with different ideas. No, that's all we want. That's all I want is work together to fix this county. I'm not here for precinct 4 only, I'm here for the whole county. Let's make it better. That's all I can ask. Thank you.
Okay, so we've been doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. So there are other things we can do, like a road superintendent system or something to that effect. Because right now, every one of y'all is buying equipment, every one of y'all is doing something different. Every one of y'all is got their own road crews. We can go to a road superintendent system and just have one. And take that responsibility away from our commissioners, and the commissioners' court will direct them what to do and what not to do. So there's other ways to come up with money to fix it other than throwing money to it. So let's look at everything, not just trying to take money from the general fund or take money from anybody else. I'm
Those are
ready.
only 2 options, Judge. If you can't take it from either one, where are you gonna take it from? You know, I'm not trying to, I'm just trying to.
No,
start
there's
something
a
and
different
create-
way to do it.
Okay,
There's a
let's sit
different
down
way
and
to
talk.
do it.
You know, what I'm proposing is something like, we propose how many miles you're gonna fix, how much money it's gonna take, you set it aside, and the money's gonna be allocated, that's it, we set $1 million in there. And we start using money for nothing but rock and oil, and that's it, not for equipment, not for labor, not for anything else other than that. We still have our own budget here. You get the money from there and you use it.
I
fine.
understand,
If not,
I
it just
understand
stays there,
what you're
goes back to
saying.
general fund.
I
Simple as that.
understand completely what you're saying. I've spoken to our CPA and to our financial advisors. They say, don't do that. Okay, I'm not just coming out this, just because I'm coming out saying this. I want to help you guys. I want to truly help you guys do this, but there's other ways of doing it. If we want to look at the road superintendent system or any other system, let's look at it. Because you're right. I mean, we need to do something different. But if we're gonna do that this year, we're gonna try to do the same thing every year, and it's gonna deplete our general fund.
No, we're not asking to use it every year. We're asking, let's try this. Let's put some money aside. Let's use this, see how many miles we can fix. And then
I
we'll
already
go
know
from there,
what's-
and then we go from there. And then we're not expecting to do it every year. We expect to do something here quick. Let's show the people that we're working to try to fix these roads. Not just talking about it, not doing anything about it. It's not gonna do anything. You know, you do the road assessment, and I guarantee you're gonna see funding should go right here. There it is.
Commissioner, you have this list right here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 roads.
That's just the worst ones that I could point out.
So you're asked right here with the numbers that you provided, 6,000 per mile, 60,000 per mile, 40,000 per mile, 60,000, 40,000. $40.
20.
So,
Just on rock and oil alone, Judge, is doing about $50,000 a mile.
that's
Double seal coat.
that's 340,000 you're asking for right there.
Hold on.
But you also gotta consider this, Judge, that we're not gonna be able to do work every single day. So if this money is set aside here for something, you're gonna have breakdowns, you're gonna have bad weather, you're gonna have all different things that happen. But at least you're trying something different and you're moving forward. We had our truck in the shop since February. We just got it out last week. So I lost all the time. I haven't been able to work on any roads. We're ready, we prepared, we got some already prepped up, but things happen. So that's not to say that you're gonna use that money, but it's available. And that's why I'm saying it's only gonna be used for oil and rock. Simple as that.
300K a year,
It all has to come approved through court.
no, it's not much.
Anybody else have anything
Well,
to say?
all I can say is, we'll look around. I mean, we have to see where we have money that's just sitting there, not doing nothing. Investments, well, they don't serve no purpose, but they do help financially.
I don't understand how you say that doesn't help.
Well, it helps because it's in the account, but it's not helping the community.
It's not.
No,
I don't understand that. How do
they
you
don't
feel that
want,
that's
they
not helping the
want to see
community?
progress. They don't want to see just things sitting there.
How are
They've
you
been
gonna-
sitting there for a long time.
How are you gonna
You
develop?
tell that to the people at precinct one, tell them.
I'll let you talk, let me talk too.
Okay.
How are you going to develop or come up with that money that you're asking for? We've come up with over $500,000 with these investments. That's something we've never done before. We have $500,000 more because of it. I don't understand how both of you can say that it makes no sense and makes no difference. It's made $500,000 difference. I don't understand that. And I'm, like I said, I'm not saying no, I'm not saying anything like that. But it's hard for me to believe that we're gonna do this one time this year, and then it's gonna go away the following year. Now, the only thing we can all help each other out, and I'm not only us, but the community itself, we have to do everything we can to help bring and expand our tax base or our sales tax. That's gonna bring us more money here. It's just not gonna grow on trees. I don't like to use that slogan, but we do have to take in consideration that there's things that could happen. When I first got here, we had $3 million. We didn't even have 2 months of operating expenses. I don't ever want to be there. And you can get mad, you can do whatever you want, but that is the absolute truth. And Ventura Garcia is the only one that was here, and some people out there were here when we had to cut. We lost sleep day and night. We're trying to figure these things out. We had to cut 33 people. I don't want to get to that situation again. And does it matter? Yes, it matters. Does the road matter? Yes, it matters. We just got to figure it out. And I thought we were going to come up with try to come up with something new, but this is just throwing money at it. And like I said, do I not agree with it? No, I don't disagree with it. I just want to make sure that we are where we are. Anybody else have anything they want to add?
I think everybody just, I know I've made a lot of cuts, in my precinct, and it ain't a lot that's gonna make up for a mile of road, but it's something. Maybe if everybody did, make up some And I don't mean cut just to cut, but if it's not needed, it's not needed. I mean, I'm just wondering, curiosity, how many secretaries do you have?
2.
Okay. Just wondering. I was just wondering if you still had 3 or 2.5, no?
We have less employees than the previous administration. We have 2 secretaries. We've done a lot of work in the county, and we spent less in the previous administration than the last report I got. We're about $80,000 less. What does that tell you? It's being used efficiently. I believe yes, we're gonna use money to do things. We're not just, oh, we have extra money, let's go buy this. No, that doesn't work with me. I'm a businessman. I know how the system works. You know, that's why we need this extra funding, whether during budget talks or every year, things need to get done. You put a superintendent system, you're gonna have to pay another employee to take care of everything plus benefits, so we can do it. We just need the extra funding to continue upgrading these roads year after year. We just can't do it one year. It's a continuous effort.
So go ahead.
I was gonna relate to Renee's question. I came in, I had 32 employees. I have 17 right now. My guys are making $12, $13 an hour with a CDL. That's the highest paid guy. And it's dangerous working, building these roads out there. Very dangerous. And it's spit what they make. And I would love to pay them. These guys are worth $25, $20 an hour easy. I can't afford to buy a maintainer. People told me, why don't you buy this? You want me to buy it? I'll buy it, but I won't be able to buy any rock. What do you want, And we're the only precinct that's fully equipped to do the road from the bottom up. And it's just, we need funding to get more rock, to get more done. That's all it is. It's just, I can bear with the other stuff. It's just, we need to do a different system.
But I think this was a good discussion. Everybody was able to participate in it, and this was a good start. We will continue these discussions into budget hearings, and we'll try to see everything we can do to fill that script. I mean, like I said, I'm a taxpayer here too, and I definitely would like to see that too. But we do have to look at all the numbers and see where it takes us. And this is a good start. Appreciate you, Commissioner, for putting it on the agenda. It's a good start, and we can move forward from here. And we can all continue to do our homework to see how we can make this happen or how we can create something. Anybody else?
I'd like to apologize to everybody for getting a little heated here, but I have a passion for this job, and I have a passion for the people of Jimos County.
No problem.
The bottom line is that, as it stands right now, we're all responsible for our budget. Through the years, I've made sense, I try to make sense of the budget. I try to save from my budget for future purchases. Like, you're gonna have to buy a piece of equipment, a quick piece of equipment breaks down, so you have to be concerned about every aspect of your budget, like Commissioner George is saying, he's a businessman, he's trying to make sense of it, which is a great thing. And it's a great start also. You already reduced your budget, so you're gonna be able to use some of that, to, work on your roads, so, through the years, I just, as conservative as I can be, I just save my budget. And I do have a pretty good fund balance, I really do. But guess what? I'm gonna do $300,000-$400,000 worth of seal coating this year. And I got about $300,000-$400,000 worth of equipment that I need to buy. So am I managing my money right? Maybe yes, maybe no. I know that I cannot go borrow money because my budget is not big enough to pay $50,000 for a grader, $50,000 for a zipper. I can't see my budget being reduced by $150,000 at the start of the year. When my budgets, have the size of precinct 3, 4, and not as much as precinct 1. But, it's a different situation for everybody. To me, I have to save, and then, because I've been sealed, the last few years, I've seal coated almost every year because I saved my budget. Last year, I did $700,000 worth of seal coating. Almost 30 miles. Am I being, am I being a good steward of my money? I think so. Do I have a good reserve? Of course. My starting balance is about a little over $1 million. Yours is over $1 million. So is precinct 4. George, 600,000. So it's not like we're lacking money. We're just trying to understand how to use it better. Trying to go into a system that we lose control of our precinct. In my watch, that's not going to happen. You go into a system that you try to help the whole county, but you're going to lose control of your precinct. We have almost $7 million worth of road and bridge monies. That includes all of us. Believe it or not, only 34% of that budget goes to precinct 1 and precinct 2. 34%. Precinct 3 and 4, they get 64% of the $7 million. Is that fair? Probably not. But I have to make sense of it. So it's, I don't know, it's just managing your money is better. I don't know. I try to manage my money the best I can, and that's all I can do, and move forward, So I think that our roads, my roads need a lot of work. God knows that also, but to me, it's just managing your money, and you're not going to get it done this year. And I'm sorry, Commissioner, that it's going to take several years before you get there. After 5 months of being in office, and you understand how much money that you need to operate or to get them fixed, now have a good idea that you're going to have to make a plan, that you fix them little by little, maybe get some done this year, next year, the following year. I don't know how it's going to be done, but I know that our economy is it's not all that great. And last year we had to balance our budget, we had to use $700,000 from our general fund. And it looks like we're going to do the same thing this year. So if we're losing money, how can you expect us to have an additional expense? So it's anyway. I just think that we can talk about it in budget hearings. If there's monies that we can use, so be it. But as I see it right now, I just don't see where we're not going to lose another $700,000 this year, and all the jail expense. It's a pie that's just so big, and the slices are very thin. So I don't see where we can settle anything today without hearing from our auditors and see where we're going. Thank you.
Well, all I can say is we're gonna inquire, see where there's money, how much is where. we'll get with the auditor, and any money is not being appropriated, you know, we have budget talks, we'll see where to put it, and, but there's gotta be something there. It just, we have to allow something for construction. You know, part of these commissioners, I wasn't here, but I know they have, they received ARPA money for some road construction, and that helped them a lot, you know? But, you know, those funds come to an end, and what you did, and what you didn't get to do, you didn't get to do. I understand that. But, you know, the fact of the matter is, this problem needs to be fixed. Somehow, somewhere, there's got to be funds available. Thank you.
One of the biggest issues that I've had in the past is that, and I proposed this year a while back, I've never agreed why all of us, between 4 commissioners, we would have, I think it's something like 5, 6 maintainers. You know, that's a lot of money. And 6, 7 backhoes, all this equipment, we all have the same equipment. You know, when I proposed that you would create a road construction crew to just seal coat roads, that was it. We prepped our own roads and we go around. It would have been a lot faster, and I was shut down with it. But the thing is, when you're saying, Mr. Garcia, for example, we went and we tore the 23940 over there in La Parrita, right? And you like the idea how it worked. All of us sharing the equipment and working together. It's like I said, I'm not here for precinct 4. I'm here for the whole county. We all have to work. It's just a matter that some of us have worse roads than others. And how do we fix it? Once again, I'll repeat it. I'll probably end up hurting myself because I fixed a lot of roads. Yet we still have a lot of problems. How bad are your problems from 1 to 5? 5 being the worst. There's going to be some real bad roads in other districts, in other precincts, I'm sorry. So the thing is, it's everybody working together and not just individually. I don't support, and I agree with Mr. Garcia, I don't support the superintendent. That's not we're gonna spend money on one guy that's gonna come in here, and I'd rather do an evaluation of road conditions, and let's go from there. And then we can say, okay, we can allocate more money to this guy this year, the following year with the next guy, whatever. But we definitely need to sit down and discuss this. It's been long enough, it's way overdue, and if it's not a priority, guys, then maybe we shouldn't be here because we have the wrong priorities. As county commissioners, we're dealing with the budget, so why are we not dealing with, priority number 1 for us is the roads, why are we not addressing the roads?
So, you know, we do that, Commissioner Gonzalez. I know what, you use my backhoe from time to time. I loaned you a maintainer operator, precinct 3. I loaned him my roller, my dump truck. I loaned Commissioner George a trailer. You know, we work together. You know, I don't deny anybody if I have a piece of equipment for them to use it. If I'm not using it, you know, so be it. And that's how you work together. But to say that, you know, that some of us have more needs than others, and I can see that precinct 1 has more needs right now, for whatever reason, maybe poor management in the past, I don't know. But moving forward, you know, with better management, maybe it'll solve the problem. I don't know. But I do know that we do work together. You know, and I'm, you know, so that's something that we do. Anyway, thank you.
Okay, thank y'all very much, and that was a good discussion. It gives us an opportunity to move forward, and we'll take it from there. Agenda item number 19. Discuss, consider, and take action to approve a temporary license to sell liquor at the county fairgrounds on 06/25/2025. June 25th, 2025.
Who's that, Judge? The county fair?
Yes, The best of the best, I think that they have an event on the 25th, and they're requesting a temporary license.
Motion to approve.
A second. I have a motion, I have a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Are they gonna apply for it themselves, or are they gonna use a license holder?
The what?
Are they gonna apply for the license themselves, or are they gonna use?
I think they're gonna use Teo Vino's, license, and then they're gonna go, issue out a letter, and they go with Corpus and get a temporary license.
Under them?
Agenda item number 20, discuss, consider, and take action on payroll and bills as submitted by the county auditor with the exemption of Fund 52, 53, and 54. I'll make a motion, we approve.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 21.
Judge, before we go back to open deal,
Yes, sir.
I want to congratulate you, Judge, on the election for president of the Commission and Judges,
South Texas Judges and
South
Commissioners.
Texas. Congratulations. You want to elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, I take great pride in being Jim Wells County Judge, and I'm very honored and privileged to have this position. But last Wednesday, I was sworn in as the president of South Texas Judges and Commissioners Association. Man, I'm humbled that I'm getting the opportunity. I work day and night for Jim Wells County. I'm very passionate of what I do, and to get recognized and being able to represent all of South Texas by my colleagues, fellow judges and commissioners, it's an honor. It's an honor in itself, and I will continue to work as hard as I do, and I'll continue to represent Jim Wells County like I do. Thank you all very much. I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, guys.